Now, everyone is talking about VR. It is the talk of the town.
Yes.
Here at GDC. We got an email from one of our viewers, listeners, Paul. And he says, he emailed us at the email address, gamescoop@ign.com, just like you can. He says, now that we finally know the price and release date of PSVR, I expect to hear even more games and features announced between now and launch. For many, exciting times lie ahead. But for the folks in the PlayStation community that, for whatever reason, do not plan on getting into VR, do you think this growing focus may actually alienate them? For 2016 at least, there are some huge conventional games still coming, Uncharted 4, Last Guardian, Horizon Zero Dawn, so it does not seem like Sony's first-party studios have all switched over to making VR titles yet. But what if the landscape is completely different in 2017? I think it'll be very telling to see what Sony Santa Monica and Sony Bend's next big games are. His main question is, does this focus on VR alienate more gamers who are just more interested in a more traditional experience?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, every first-party studio that's working on a VR game, if you don't care about VR, every studio that's working on a VR game is one studio not working on something you care about, right? Like, that's a real concern. It's sort of a challenge and opportunity for VR is that until you try it for yourself, like, you just can't, like, most people that don't dig it just haven't had a chance to try it yet. Yeah. And so it is that compelling and that cool, and it was something that I was skeptical about. I'm like, I don't know, I just don't know that I care about that. And then you have you play Budget Cuts or some other really compelling VR demo, and you're like, oh shit, like this it becomes the thing once you get a chance to try it. So I don't know. It's tough to say whether if someone's not into VR, I guess I would kind of want to dig a little bit more into why.
Well, I think that's fair. I think it's, I would say to Paul not to worry too much, because if VR, ends up not being a thing that everybody wants right away, then the studios aren't going to focus on it, right? So if it becomes so compelling, which I believe it will, that everybody's going to want it, then you're going to see studios giving more and more attention to it. So I think it's something that the market's going to just decide over time. But I wouldn't think that all the big studios out there are going to jump on this right away. I think it's going to take some time. Certain developers out there have really latched onto it and decided this is part of the future and that's where they want to be, and that's great. But not everyone's going to do it right away.
Well, Levi, VR gaming on PC and console is launching this year. Certainly, mobile VR has a big future and will play a big part in making VR a real mainstream thing.
Well, there are right now hundreds of millions of VR devices technically out there right now in everyone's pocket. Android phones, iOS phones, they all work in these off-the-shelf, solutions that you can put up on your face, whether it's, Google Cardboard or Mattel's got their ViewMaster. So if it's something that maybe you need to try out to see if it's something that's going to be relevant to you, that's a great entry point. I talked about earlier is that is an affordable entryway in to see if it's something that you're going to like or something that you're interested in. And it does usually take one really good, really positive experience to decide if VR is for you. And for me, and it's good that you're here, it was playing Valkyrie. And for me, it wasn't, the whole experience was neat. It was the looking around, being able to target ships with my eyes, and it was so fascinating that it worked. But the moment for me was when I looked down and realized I saw my body was the pilot's body, and that was the moment this thing clicked with me. I was like, yes, this is a real thing that I really want to be a part of.
I would have been more concerned about this a decade ago, but as I've said on GameScoop before, everything old is new again, and nothing goes away forever. And there's more, 2D games on Steam now than probably ever before. I used to have kind of a lot of fear. I really, really like 2D platformers. I really like 3D mascot platformers, and it's sad to see stuff go away. And I was excited about the new stuff, but there was a period where you couldn't really get the stuff that you wanted all the time, and that I feel like that period's over. Even if VR is everywhere in a decade, and that's really what sort of the future of video games is, there is still going to be a massive group of people making Metroidvanias and making games like Stardew Valley on PC.
Yes,
and
Stardew Valley.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, you guys should totally geek out about Stardew Valley.
It's the only thing I play anymore. I know. So, I don't feel like I can bounce between, like right now, the games that I'm playing are Stardew Valley and The Division, and that's really so illustrative of, and some mobile games, like that's illustrative of what video games in 2016 is. And in a couple years, is it going to be really flashy, insane VR games, and then sort of, interesting 2D, or, traditional 2D or 3D games? Yeah, totally, we're going to get that mix.
Yeah,
Till
totally
the end
agree.
of time, we're going to get that mix.
Yep, I totally agree.
I think the only thing about VR that I'm sad about is that it's happening now. There's a part of me that wished this had happened
When
in
you
my
were-
gaming career 20 years younger, because this is the first time where I really begin to kind of think about my age and where it exists in video games, and the idea that look at what's happening now at my age, and that I'm trying to think of all the stuff that I will potentially miss, in 40, 50 years of time.
Ooh.
I'm sure they're going to have. We're going to we're going to freeze you.
Please.
Yep.
We'll wake you up.
Thank you.
Say, video games are crazy now. And you put him back under for another 100 years.
Yeah.
Can we just trade him back and forth? Like, you can keep him for a while, his
Yeah.
carbonite frame, and I
of
keep him for
course.
a while.
Use me as a coffee table.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I just want to be useful.
That's all I want out of this life.